Hi guys, today's recipe is Kori Ghasi, also known as Mangalorean chicken curry, and this is how I made it. So let's begin. So the first step here is we're going to make coconut milk. You can also buy the ready-made coconut milk that comes in a tetra, but I find it to be too sweet. So here I'm going to be making it from scratch. I've taken one container of freshly grated coconut, to which I'm going to add enough water and grind it to fine paste. Now we need both thick coconut milk and thin coconut milk. So let me explain when we do this. So now this milk that you got after your first round of grinding is your thick coconut milk. You're going to sieve it and extract all the milk from this flesh and keep it aside. Okay, then you're going to use the same coconut meat and put it back to the grinder, put some more water and blend it again. That will be your thin coconut milk. You have to keep both thick and thin coconut milk separately. This is your thick, and for thin you have put back the meat and you're going to put some more water and grind it again, and this will be your thin coconut milk, which you'll keep it separately. Step 2 is the heart and soul of this recipe, so we'll have to make the masala now. Take a pan and keep it on high medium flame and drop in 2 tablespoons of ghee. Once the ghee melts, you'll have to add spices. For Mangalorean curry, the spices are bedgi chilies, but I don't get bedgi chilies here. So I've used Kashmiri, about 10 Kashmiri chilies, coriander seeds, methi seeds, jeera, garlic, 1 onion, and some khada garam masala, wherein I've taken 1 tablespoon of black pepper and about 5 to 6 cloves and a few pieces of cinnamon. I'm going to write the exact measurement in the description box. Don't forget to check it out. Drop these spices into the hot ghee and we'll roast them until they turn fragrant. Now keep roasting them without stopping because you don't want to burn these spices. I'm also going to be adding about 1 tablespoon of haldi, and I will roast it, fry it nicely until the color changes slightly, maybe of the onion. When the onion turns a little pale, you'll understand that your masalas are done. Okay, keep them separately and let them cool in a plate. Now in the same pan, I'm going to dry roast 1 more container of freshly grated coconut until it turns toasty or slightly brownish. Honestly, few recipes that I saw didn't call for roasted coconut. So what they did was they just roasted the spices, let it cool, and when they were grinding it, they added the freshly grated coconut. So maybe you can avoid this step and do that too. Now once your masalas are cool enough, drop them to the mixer grinder along with the roasted coconut, and you'll have to grind it with enough water. Again, make sure you're grinding it and not blending it. Also would like to recommend, please use a high power mixer grinder jar. The steel one is the best. I feel these fancy ones don't really grind your masala that well and it turns out a little grainy, but this is what I have now and I have to work with it. Now continuing with the recipe, drop in a small piece of tamarind and then drop some water and grind it to a fine smooth paste. Once you grind the masala, you'll see that you have a beautiful orange paste, and 3/4 of this recipe and the mehnat is already done. Now it's just cooking the chicken and it will not take much time. So I've used a big deep dish here because this recipe calls for a lot of gravy and we need a deep dish. I've dropped 2 tablespoons of ghee. You can also use oil, to which I'm going to add 1 sliced onion. Now let the onions fry well, as in until they turn slightly pinkish, and then एकदम small, मतलब छोटू tomato I've used. Why? Because I absolutely hate tomato, and the recipe calls for 1 tomato I think, but since I don't like it very much, I've just peeled the skin and used half a tomato and half on my face. Anyway, I drop in some salt because that's the rule after you drop in tomatoes. Put the lid on, let the tomatoes become a little mushy, and then you drop in your chicken. Now, if you're wondering why my chicken looks a little yellow, because I'd marinated it with some turmeric and ginger garlic paste, but the recipe doesn't call for it, so you don't need to do it, okay? Now, cook the chicken well, or at least until it changes color. And once you see that the chicken has changed color, then you can add your paste, masala paste. Now, once you drop the masala, in order to clean the jar, we'll use the coconut thin milk. This way, this gravy will be more flavorful because you're not using any water. Now, stir the masala with the chicken and keep stirring occasionally until the chicken cooks through. Check for the salt and keep monitoring it, because here I'm using stainless steel, so I have to keep monitoring it. But even if you're using non-stick, then make sure that you're stirring occasionally. Now, traditionally, this curry is made using Bedgi chilies, but here I couldn't find Bedgi chilies. Bedgi chilies are grown in Karnataka. They are slightly more hotter than the Kashmiri red chilies, but the color you get is same. Okay, now since in Dubai I couldn't find Bedgi chilies, I use Kashmiri chilies, but if you're in India and you can find them, then please use those. Now here, because I only used the dry Kashmiri chilies, I should have used the normal dry red chilies which are spicier, but instead I used 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I'll write my method down below, please go check it out. Once you think your chicken curry is ready and your chicken is cooked, please move your pan to another burner and then you drop your thick coconut milk. This will avoid it from curdling. Okay, then you can put that back on the gas and then continue cooking until one boil. This recipe also calls for tempering at the end, but I don't have time, neither I'm going to wash another additional dish, so I just dropped some curry leaves there. It'll bring out the same flavor. Yeah, I adjusted the salt and that was it. This gravy was ready. Actually, the whole process is pretty simple if you have someone to make coconut milk and the paste for you, right? But anyway, it was my first attempt and we were very happy with the result. Use it with traditional roti. So that is the reason it is called Kori roti. Kori means chicken, okay? And it was so yummy. I relished it. Now, this was a requested recipe on my Instagram, so do try it. I hope I helped you. Let me know what you think, and bye. Okay, wait. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, and follow me on Instagram. Bye.